Welcome back. It is 1567. And in the last one, we had Katerina kill her husband and frame not Nicholas Gainsford, it's Lawrence Gainsford II, so that her daughter could become queen because he was going to leave her. We had Alice start to fall in love with someone else, but she doesn't know what is going on in her life. We had Nicholas almost get himself into trouble, but was rescued by Anne, who then made a deal with him. I forgot to add Anne's new picture. It's still not loaded. Okay. But yeah, Anne Light, also Heredia. But anyway, they have decided to quickly elope so that they could just have an arrangement where they get married and have babies and they can both do whatever they want. So that's good. Good stuff. This year, actually, I forgot that Anne is supposed to have a birthday like right now, and Juliana, and Anne's daughter, and Alphonse is dying, which means that our daughter's becoming the queen and might die next year. We'll see. Okay, so Joanna Domino is the first one. That is actually Alice's daughter, no 7, 14, or 19. She survived. Then we have 1, 2, 3 children, no 2, 4, or 6 for the first one. Ooh, okay, well, how about the Heredia baby? Survived. Okay, well, Isaac Dubois just died. Actually, is he the only one left? I need to know. Inquiring minds need to know. He's the current Marquis. Oh, no, he has a little brother. Okay. So now Humphrey is going to be the Marquis. And then okay, he survived. Okay, Juliana, no 7 or 13. Survived. Is she getting married? She is. And how many children is she having? 2. All right, Juliana Larkin with a 2. Excellent. Okay. Then we have Anne. Oh gosh, Anne, I'm serious. You need to survive because we literally just got married. I don't know if Nicholas can take it. Oh, no. We'll plead for her. We'll plead for her. Oh my goodness. Why is my life like this? Anyway. Okay. Let me know what you're thinking right at this moment. And yeah, okay. Let's hop into the game. Alrighty, so we are once again going to start with Katerina, and we are actually going to say goodbye to Isaac right now because he's right there, and he's not wearing good outfit, so we are going to do that, and then the first thing we're going to do is call over Queen Orella, and so, now that Amos has passed away, really the only thing that can change the line of succession is Alphonse because he is still alive, and even though he's old and even though he's dying this year, something could happen. So she is going to instead come over herself and start flirting with him, start really trying to, make the moves on him so that if she did end up being with him and she could produce a male heir, she would have an heir to both kingdoms and she would be all set. Now, he's into it. He's a bit embarrassed. I don't really know exactly why, but, maybe that she came herself and didn't send her daughter or whatever. I don't know, but he is very much like, he's always been an adulterer, so I'm not really worried about him. So he is definitely allowing himself to be seduced in a way. We do see Katerina coming into the room and crying over her dead husband, probably because she knew they were in there alone, and she was like, I gotta check this out. I gotta see what's happening. And so she comes in and she kind of interrupts them to, do her fake song and dance there, and she is actually nervous now because she sees that it's working. She sees that she potentially has something to worry about. I mean, they don't know that he's dying this year, so she's concerned. And so as soon as Orella leaves for the day, Katerina kind of comes and talks to him, and, maybe they, have a few drinks. The night gets late, and Katerina has her own plan. And so she is going to just continue to get closer to him. I mean, he wanted to become friends with her, even though I think they're already friends, so I don't know what's up with that, but that's okay. And so we are going to see how this goes. So here is our family. She's going to start flirting with Alphonse. I'm trying to get the toddlers to not be in the room while this is happening. But yeah, so she starts flirting with Alphonse, and of course he's into it because he's really into anything. And so it doesn't really bother him that that's his son's widow. But she, she's either going to have a son or she is going to kind of secure her position. She doesn't really care at what people have to say about her or anything, but she also recognizes that he's an old man and he's not really lasted too much longer, especially not with such vigorous activity, if you know what I mean. So she is actually going to woohoo him to death. That is how Alphonse is going to die. He's going to be woohooed to death. Katerina, honestly, while she's not really into him, she wants to secure her line, her daughter's future. She is not going to let anyone come in here and steal it all away from her. She is the thief. And so she is stealing the crown from Alphonse. And so we're just going to keep doing this until, Alphonse is passing away from overexertion. So, I mean, how awful is that? But yes, Alphonse is passing away from overexertion. So there is that. And we are going to just... the kids actually, it looks like they're aging up right now, even though they shouldn't be aging up right now. So that's kind of something. So whoops. But I guess I'm just going to let them age up. And then because I need them to look right for what I'm about to do. So I'll let them age up for now. Obviously, they still have to do their child role next year, but now Audrey is the queen. The king has died, and that makes Audrey the queen. And so I'm going to give her a beautiful new outfit so that she can go have her coronation. And we will see where we go from there. So here she is, Queen Audrey Light. And I love her so, so much. And then here is her little sister, Avina, who actually rolled to be evil. So that could be an interesting story. So Audrey and Avina, and then actually Humphrey also just aged up. These kids. So anyway, they've all aged up. And I'm just going to give them all outfits just because I'm trying to do something right now, kids. And if you could just cooperate, that would be really nice. Okay. So here we are, and we're going to have the coronation. So now that Audrey is queen, we are going to bring them here, have them do this. Obviously, she can't give a speech, but since she's still so young, Katerina would actually be a regent. And I guess she's the dowager princess. Is that how that works? Because she was never queen because her husband died before he became king. So there is that, and they are just doing their thing. She's going to give a speech about how she's in charge now. She's in charge now, and, for her daughter. So we'll see where we go with that. But it is very exciting. And I think, Humphrey is their cousin, right? Let me double check here exactly what the dealio is. No, yes. How is Humphrey related to them is the real question. Humphrey, I'm getting distracted by this right now and not looking at the speech that she's giving. Okay, so she is Isaac Dubois and Elizabeth Dubois, or he is Isaac and Elizabeth. Oh, okay, so because Isaac's mother was Princess Augusta, so it looks like, no, they're second cousins, I think. Okay, good to know. Anyway. So we are back home with our family now. Katerina has gotten what she wanted. She's very happy. We're actually already basically in our third trimester. No, we're not. I'm just kidding. We're about to be in our third trimester. So we are doing that. And Anne is pregnant. I'm really hoping the baby survives, especially since she's supposed to die this year. And Nicholas has such bad luck right now. And I'm so worried about him. My poor baby. He is going to... He just really... has been through a lot. So I don't want him to be through so much. So anyway, we are going to just have her bake a cake because we do have to have Celestria's birthday so that she can become a child. And then we also have Juliana's birthday. Technically, Celestria's birthday was yesterday, but we weren't here for that. So we're going to do both birthdays right now. So both Celestria and Juliana are going to age up. So here is Juliana's age up. We are going to give her a romance aspiration, so I'm really excited about that. Hopefully she can find someone to love there. And then we also have Celestria's aging up, and she is good with that. So we are going to have the birthday party, and then what I want to do, because of course the Sims never ever listen to me, ever, which is super frustrating, but we're just going to accept it, is Angus is going to come and chat a little bit with Nicholas. So if you remember, Angus was trying to engage Nicholas to his daughter, Damaris, and so it almost worked, except Damaris took it a step too far, and so Anne stepped in and kind of saved Nicholas from the scheming of this family. And so they're going to get in an argument because Angus is obviously really angry that his daughter did not get to get married to Nicholas, and he threatens Nicholas, and he's like, I'll expose what we've been doing together. Nicholas is like, my guy, this is not the first time I've had a scandal with a man. It probably won't be the last. So he's like really not fazed by the whole thing. He is like, go ahead, say whatever you want. And Angus is super angry about the whole thing. They're just really not getting along right now. And, Angus obviously wanted his daughter to become the Countess, and that is not going to happen. So that's where we're at. Just having these two argue, ruin their romantic relationship, everything. It's just very sad. But you know what, Nicholas? I'm going to find you someone better. Don't worry. I do want Nicholas to end up with a guy in the end, even though, I don't want guys to just be the villains in his story. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a bad representation. I do want him to end up in a happy relationship with a man and having, a similar relationship that Tobias had. So anyway, we're doing the makeovers of Juliana and Celestria. So those two. And Juliana is so pretty. I was really trying to figure out what outfit to put her in. I struggled a lot with figuring it out. But she is just so pretty. And Gabriel's going to have to start, stop being so overprotective. But we'll get into that. So here she is. She's gorgeous. Then we have Celestria, who is also such a cute kid. Look at her. And we are going to give her orange outfit, although I don't really have a lot of good orange outfits. Honestly, some of them look brown and some of them look cream colored, and none of them really look orange per se. But that's just something we're going to have to deal with going forward. If it says it's orange, then we say it's orange. So yeah, I am going to have Juliana come talk to her father and basically, be like, okay, when's my coming out ball? What are we doing here? And she's all very excited about it. And he's like, oh, you're not having one. And she's very confused. And he's like, don't worry. I'll find you, someone eventually that you could marry that, will approve of and will take care of you, or maybe you could just stay home forever. And she's like, no, right? She's like, come on, I thought I was going to become a teenager. I was going to get to spread my wings. I was going to get some freedom. And he's just not having it. He still is being really overprotective of her. And she's really struggling with that because that's not what she wants. She wants to have a coming out ball. She wants to dance with a bunch of guys and be flirted with and fall in love and all this stuff. And her father is just not into it. And it's really frustrating for her because none of her other siblings are being treated like this, but because she's the youngest, because she's the one where her mother died, Anyway, so then we're having the babies, and I'm actually decided not to roll for Anne because she's supposed to die anyway, so I'm not going to roll again for her. So that actually, that 8 is what we're going to use for the next baby because it's twins! It's twins, and we had 2 children, and honestly, so I named the first one after grandma Genevieve, which was really sweet. And then we had a second girl, so we're naming her Gwendolyn. So Genevieve and Gwendolyn are our daughters. We now have 2 heirs. Hopefully they'll survive, but Katerina is always a good fallback. But I did want Nicholas to have children of his own and us to be able to have all this fun stuff. So I'm really excited about it being twins, especially because right now we are going to have to kill off Anne. So we will plead for her, of course, but it's just so frustrating. He can't even plead. So Nicholas can't plead for her because he's afraid of death. How frustrating is that? So he's afraid of death, and so we have Gabriel plead for her, but it just doesn't work. And so it's really heartbreaking, but unfortunately these 2 children have just lost their mother. We begged for her. She did not survive. We are going to have a memorial for her right now. And honestly, I'm going to have Nicholas. So Nicholas actually did get to the top of his career when we weren't looking, and that completed Gabriel's aspiration. But also, like, Nicholas, I feel like, is really going to have a hard time reconciling his faith right now because he lost Sibley. He lost Anne. He lost Isaac even. Like, everyone that he loves is dying. And he's super frustrated by that and super upset by that. And of course he's going to take care of Celestria. 100% he is going to be a father to her. But now he's got 3 children. And he's a single father. And it's just really a big struggle. 100%. And, his father is getting older. His sister, is going to be looking for a marriage soon. So I actually think I might remarry him again. He's had bad luck. But we have had people who have had more than, I think we've had someone who had 4 spouses one time because they all kept dying. It was one of the Bennetts, I believe. It was probably one of the Hugos. But yeah, so it's just I want him to, I feel like he'd remarry in order to have more children, but also have a mother figure in the house or someone to help raise the kids. He's soon going to be alone with just the children, and I don't think he feels ready to handle it. He's obviously got a lot of grief and a lot of potential depression going on because of so many things that have happened in his life lately. And so he's really struggling. So we'll see where he goes from there. But what I do want to do is then come and visit Alice. So Alice, you can see over here, is actually friends with Enead, who is from the vampire family that Lilith is from, and Whitehead. And so they've become friends over time, and so I think that they're going to go out and have a little friend date and have fun and really chat with each other, and they're becoming really good friends. And so Alice does open up to Enead and is like, hey, I honestly don't know about my marriage. I haven't really wanted to woohoo with my husband. I don't know if I want to have another kid with him. I just think that maybe this was the wrong choice. And she's very open and honest with her friend about all this, and she explains too about how she met Bennett and how she thinks maybe something could be going on there, and that she really feels drawn to him, and she feels like she could be with him instead, and maybe she made the wrong choice with Bert. And Enead is being super supportive, really validating her feelings and just trying to help her and help her understand what is going on and what she wants. And of course she's being supportive and telling her friend hey, did you really just get a crush on her? You get a crush on everyone. But just that kind of stuff where she really feels like she needs someone to talk to about this because she can't talk to her dad about it. And so later on, she's at home with her husband, and Enead comes over, and she's really happy to see her friend. She's like, come in, and wants to hang out and chat with her and everything. And so Bert actually is going to come in and chat with them, and Enead is totally going to break girl code and in front of Bert basically say that Alice has another man in her life, she needs to be faithful to her husband and blah, blah, blah. And she kind of poses it as I'm just trying to help you to get everything out into the open so that, you can work through it because you're married and you should really take that seriously. And she is just going to drop this bomb really ruin her friendship with Alice, who is like so shocked and betrayed that Enid would do this to her. And then, of course, as soon as she leaves, her and Bert start getting into arguments, and he, pulls the whole like, well, is Joanna even my child? Like, what's going on here? And she's like, of course she's yours. Nothing happened. Like, Enid is blowing it out of proportion. It's just a little crush, and he's furious. He's like not believing her now. All this stuff, and they end up getting a divorce. He ends up publicly denouncing her, saying that she was unfaithful, and kicking her out of the house with Joanna, saying that, that's not his child and everything. So that happened. Not good. But yeah. So we next are going to change Alice's name back to Larkin, change Joanna's name to Larkin from Domino, and then we're going to get some of the birthdays out of the way, and then at the end we're going to age up our infants so that we can, because they're supposed to have their birthday on the last day of the year there. So for birthdays we have Joanna Domino, now Larkin, becoming a toddler, Isaac Dubois II passing on and passing his title to his brother Humphrey, Celestia Heredia joining the club and becoming a child along with Dennis Hobard, Juliana Larkin becoming a teenager, Anne Light passing away, or Anne Larkin now passing away, King Alphonse Light passing away and passing the title on to his granddaughter Audrey, Genevieve and Gwendolyn Larkin both becoming infants. So here they are, and they are such little cutie patooties. And yeah, that is where we're going to wrap up. Next year, actually, we have to do Gabriel's end of life roll, which does not mean that he is dying next year. He's not dying next year. He just has to roll for how many years left he has, which honestly, I think this is the first time we've actually had an heir or a patriarch make it this far. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he's like the oldest now. And then we also are going to roll for our new queen, and we'll see if she even keeps her title. So we'll see what happens there. I hope you guys enjoyed this part. I'm going to continue to make this super dramatic. But I think that is it for this year. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.